Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the On The Go Post Show. We're doing this one a little different because we are getting ready to get hit with the 1, 2, 3 punch, I guess. I'm Danielle.
There's three of us. We might as well make it three.
Yes.
All right?
Boxing with Mike Tyson here. I'm Danielle Wiggins with Hollie Strano and Jason Frazer, who joins us today because we have team coverage of the snow that's hitting our area right now. But Hollie, you said the biggest of this is going to come tonight.
Yeah, Jason and I have been keeping a close eye on this morning, and we really do think that it's that later today snow that's going to pack the bigger punch of the two. Now, we've got winter storm warnings in place for all of you, and this goes beyond Northeast Ohio as far as warnings. But until tomorrow early afternoon, the winter storm warnings are set to expire at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Jason's going to talk more about the meaning of a winter storm warning coming up, because a lot of you often have questions about that. But let's for now focus on the snow. If you're watching this later today, obviously this is the snow that happened earlier this morning. And the first punch of the two that we had talked about since last week. And we are seeing steady snow, but it's scattered and it's light. So this first batch, you know, it's also President's Day. Danielle's going to have a look at your drive here in just a moment. So timing is so much of it. And during our actual show today from 4:30 till 7 a.m., we really didn't see a lot of issues, but then things are getting busier, and Danielle, I think, is going to have plenty to report as we check in with her in just a moment or two. But in the meantime, steady snow in Lorain County through Ashland and into Wayne and Medina County. It's scattered and light, but it's definitely coming down through west and east suburbs and south into Cuyahoga County, Geauga County. Stark County has been seeing snow. Carroll and Tuscarawas, Holmes. So let's take you a little closer in, and you'll see the snow that we're talking about here. And from Lorain into Oberlin, Grafton, Avon, and Avon Lake have been getting snowed on. Downtown Cleveland continues to see snow into Strongsville, Brunswick near 303, which is a very busy intersection. Also seeing snowy weather, Medina. And then we take you further south where it's a bit more scattered in Stark County, but North Canton and even just around Canton, still seeing some of those snow flurries and light snow showers. And then that's what, at this point, I would describe it as in areas throughout the east side of Cleveland, like Shaker Heights and Gates Mills and Lyndhurst and Richmond Heights and Willowick. I mean, it's there, but it's light. So in some spots, and especially throughout neighborhoods, you're going to have slick road conditions more so than on the main roads, because they're being traveled on and obviously easier since the snow isn't too heavy. We also are seeing snow showers through Aurora and into Twinsburg this morning, Hudson, over towards Bainbridge. But again, we talk about this being the first batch. We are going to get a little lull, and maybe that's when you're tuning into this. We might be, at that quiet point, but there is this next batch that will work its way towards us for later today, and we're going to discuss exactly when. But as far as impacts, there's a lot going on, because we are talking a rate of snowfall at 1 to 2 inches an hour for later on today. That's an impressive snowfall rate, and that's going to be hard for crews to keep up with, regardless of, how hard they work and how hard, they try to get out there. It's just a fast rate. So keeping up with that is a challenge. And that's why we are going to see low visibilities. Travel will definitely be at high impact come late afternoon, early evening, and then into tonight. Winds are going to get gusty later on too. And then obviously snow totals are going to be very impressive after tonight. In the meantime, this morning, we are starting in the teens and 20s. And, even if you're watching this later today, we're kind of hovering in that low 20 range. But this is something that will change later today, and that's the winds. So if you're tuning into our Facebook Live at 7:30-ish this morning, we're still talking winds about 10 to 15, 16 miles an hour. You factor that in, and we're already seeing wind chills as low as 1 in Sandusky. Winds are going to increase 10 to 20 with higher gusts. So that's going to create not only, the blowing and drifting snow as it's coming down again later today, but wind chills that are quite cold. So we've got this timeline up, and it shows the little break in snow by late morning and early afternoon, and then snow redeveloping as we get into mid to late afternoon and early this evening. So as we take you hour by hour on our National Design Mart forecast, you're going to see that at 1 o'clock, it's not that there could be no snow, but it'll definitely just be scattered and kind of a no big deal compared to 4, 5, 6 o'clock when we're getting into that 1 to 2 inches of snow an hour. And at 6 this evening, I mean, man, oh man, is it coming down. And perhaps, you can plan ahead if you're watching this morning, hopefully with us, so that you get out of work a little earlier. If you have a business meeting or something planned for this evening, now granted, it's President's Day, maybe not so much, but if the kids have practice of some kind, you might want to think about postponing. Travel's not going to be easy this evening. It'll continue to snow through 10 o'clock and after midnight. Now, by early tomorrow, as we're back on the air, we are not going to have all of that heavy snow coming down. We will still have, snows close to the lakeshore, but you have to remember, again, that rate of fall. So it'll be very interesting to see if districts make the decision to close, school districts I'm talking about, with our eye alerts this evening, just because keeping up with that overnight and by the time buses are going to try to get out tomorrow is going to be a challenge. We'll see the snows wind down throughout your Tuesday, and then it's just really cold for our middle of the week forecast, and single digits to start the day on Wednesday. So totals, well, by this afternoon, it's still looking pretty light along the lines of 1 to 2 to maybe 3 inches from what's going on this morning. But then we bring in that heavy snow that starts again late this afternoon into this evening, and some of you could be talking upwards of a foot of snow by tomorrow. That's a lot of snow. So again, you'll want to stick with the latest forecast. This is an equal opportunity snow. This is also a storm system impacting a lot of the country. So any kind of change in the track could make us tweak amounts and things like that, which we will be throughout the day if necessary. So the snow moves in, depending on when you're watching this, applies to either now, this morning, if you've seen some scattered snow, or the next round for later today. And highs only in the 20s. It's never really going to feel like that. As we do get a look at your Subaru 7-day outlook, we'll continue with snow, and it will be moderate to heavy. And again, 1 to 2 inches of snow per hour as we're talking this evening and into tonight. And then winding down tomorrow, highs only in the teens. We'll take a little breath on Wednesday. And I don't want to take too much away from what Jason's going to explain, but then we've got another system on Thursday, and we thought we would just make it really interesting and add ice to the equation. And then we've got the weekend coming up. So Danielle, are you ready with a look at some traffic conditions right now? Okay, because I know there's a lot going on. Yes. I would imagine now that more people are out.
Yes, and we have a big alert on I-90 westbound, but I do want to acknowledge all of you watching on Facebook Live. So Hollie and Jason, they can hear me in their ears. I'm going to let you know these questions that we have coming in, so you have, while I'm doing this traffic report, to get ready to answer them. Tasha, well, not Tasha, but Dot wants to know about Madison, Ohio. So she wants to know how things are going in Madison. Alyssa, she has a procedure at 7 a.m. tomorrow. So she's asking both of you, should she cancel? So that's 7 a.m. tomorrow. Sarah, she wants to know, how bad is Lake County going to get hit? And I think that is about it for right now. But Mary says, can it possibly pass over all of us? So there are some of the questions that we're getting in this Facebook Live. Thank you. And if you have more questions, you can go ahead and also put them in the comment section. This is why I have the phone. I am looking at the comments. So Jason, Hollie, those are some questions right now that we can get to right after this traffic report or after Jason's report as well. So right now we have a big alert for I-90 westbound. here in Cleveland. So you can see here emergency crews responding because we have an overturned vehicle, I-90 westbound near West 44th Street. So that's as you are moving outside of Cleveland. So out of Cleveland, heading to the west to Lakewood, the Avon area as well. So multiple lanes are blocked, and because of this overturned vehicle, and you see stop and go traffic there. You also have another crash on 90 eastbound coming into downtown from the west. But for those of you who do have to leave this morning, you're probably like, I want to know the drive time. That's what you need to know. So this is typically a 16-minute commute on 90 east between Avon and Cleveland. Right now it's 24 minutes heading east, 26 minutes heading west. So we do have delays there. And as we know, today is the holiday, so not too many people have to work. Not too many schools are in session today. So that means we are seeing a light commute. However, roads are still slick, so you need to be careful out there. Now, here is where we put the weather and traffic picture together. So you can see many of us dealing with that weather and traffic. So for you asking about Madison, yeah, you can see 90 there is moving just fine in Lake County. But remember, when we have those wintry conditions, they typically make that drive time or that speed, they lower it there for you. So here we are, we have the slow traffic 90 east and westbound on the west side. So right there near West 44th Street, because we have that overturned vehicle. Then we look at Stark County, and you can see 77 north here as you're approaching the Canton area near US 30. Here's that live camera. So traffic moving along just fine. Traffic is light this morning because of it being a holiday. But again, if you do need to leave, be careful out there. ODOT crews are out salting the roads, are out trying to really keep the roadways clear for you. They do want to manage expectations though, because we did speak with ODOT yesterday, and they said that, hey, here's 77 though, this drive time. Let me get this to you first. So 77, if you're heading between US 30, Canton and Akron, 277 in Akron, 20 minutes heading north, 19 minutes heading south. But again, ODOT, what they said is that yes, they're out there clearing the roadways, but they do want you to be prepared that the roads will not completely be clear. They're out there, so they're trying to lower your expectations this morning. Now, also, we do have some parking bans. This is on WKYC.com, and when we have parking bans, that means what? You cannot park on the streets there, or you could possibly get towed. So in Akron, it's now until further notice. In Newburgh Heights, now until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. And then Cuyahoga Falls, that kicks in at 8 a.m. today until 10 p.m. Tuesday. And we also have one for Warrensville Heights that will start tonight. Again, that is on WKYC.com. All of the details there for you. But I go back here to I-90 at West 44th Street because this is the biggest traffic alert right now. I-90 westbound, you have a big alert here, a crash. We're hearing it is an overturned vehicle here, 90 westbound near West 44th Street. So be prepared for delays. And Jason, you are also tracking this storm with Hollie. What do you have?
Hey there, Danielle, and good morning, everybody. You know, it is one of those mornings where we have been talking about this for the last couple of days, and finally it has arrived. So I don't know if you're like me, but I am very happy to finally see the snow. And one of the other things I've been happy to see is some of you tagging me on social media with some of your pictures. This was a photo that was sent to me overnight. This is from one of our viewers, Gabe. He was taking this picture overlooking Lake Erie, over downtown Cleveland there, and you see some of the ice there. And speaking of the ice, I am expecting some conditions to get a little icy and dicey in around northeast Ohio. So we are under a winter storm warning right now. That started at 1 o'clock this morning, and it's going to continue through 1 o'clock tomorrow. The reason why it's going to be so long is because that is how long we anticipate this 1-2 punch with this system that's slowly making its way across our area. we saw watches and warnings not only in our area, but throughout the southeast. They extended all the way into Texas. So hopefully you don't have to drive anywhere today because, friends, it is going to be very slippery, not only here, but in places like Texas, in places also like Tennessee, as well as Kentucky. So winter storm warnings for all of the counties across Northeast Ohio. That includes Erie, Huron, Lorain, Cuyahoga, Medina, Summit, Stark, Ashtabula, Lake, as well as Geauga County. So you've been hearing us talk about this winter storm warning, but you may be wondering, what does that exactly mean? Well, it's the National Weather Service that issues all of these different watches and warnings. And here's what a winter storm warning means. We could get 6 inches or more of snow within 12 hours. Or that could also mean that we get at least 8 inches of snow or more within 24 hours. And that's exactly what we are expecting to see across much of Northeast Ohio. So let's talk a little bit about the timeline with what you can expect right now versus over the next couple of hours. And as Hollie has been mentioning, it really is depending on when you're clicking on this video. If you're watching us right now, here's what you can expect. But in a few hours, obviously, this is going to change. So this morning, the snow is going to continue to move in. It's going to be light. We're going to see anywhere between 1 to maybe about 4 inches of snow here. And then we're going to get into that bit of a break, right? So you're going to probably look up, just see some cloudy skies. And the good news about that break is going to come right around lunchtime. And that's going to give ODOT crews and a number of local municipalities time to go and retreat some of those roads. It's the second half of the day that Hollie and I remain pretty concerned about, because that's when we're going to pretty much get that second round of snow, and it's going to be heavy for everyone. We are expecting anywhere between 4 and 8 inches of additional snowfall across Northeast Ohio. I saw an update from the National Weather Service about an hour ago, and it said that even places like Sandusky could potentially get upwards of 12 to about 18 inches of snow. Now, once we're done with this system, friends, tomorrow afternoon, maybe some of you might even see some peaks of sunshine, but it is Thursday that I'm really concerned about, because we're getting round 3 in here, friends, and that will not only include some snow, but also some ice as well. It's a little too soon to be talking about how much snow, but bottom line, we anticipate it being a snow and ice event. So in terms of snowfall, how much have we received this month? About 4.5 inches. We're still about 3 inches off from where we should be right around this time of year, but after this system moves through our area, we'll definitely be above that. As always, friends, you can tag me on Facebook, Twitter, as well as Instagram at Jason Frazer TV, or you can always upload your picture via the WKYC app using the second option that's on there. Obviously, Hollie, today is going to be a very busy one for not only us here at the Weather Center, but also it's going to be a busy day for Danielle, who's going to be monitoring the traffic throughout our area.
And I really think that, again, it's that evening drive, Danielle, that we're going to have to focus on. Now, I know you have been monitoring questions too.
Okay.
So
so the big question, Jackie, she wants to know, what's the odds of a snow day for tomorrow? So
very good.
Another
Jason's nodding yes, he agrees.
Yeah, because you know what? I think the big concern for tomorrow is really going to be the fact that, you know, crews may not be able to get to every single place. So even though some of the heaviest snow bands will likely be out of here by about 9, 10 o'clock.
Right.
I mean, Hollie, I think the big concern is going to be, you know, obviously making sure that those, you know, those trucks and those local municipalities get out there on the roads to make sure that they're
There's
safe.
going to be a lot to clean. I mean, if you think about the rate of snowfall and the heavy snowfall that we're going to have before midnight, it really is going to depend on if they can clean it up that fast. Some districts might decide to close before this evening.
So we have about a minute left. Carrie wants to know thoughts on flights coming into Hopkins tonight around 8. So,
I mean, there's a better time to land, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely for sure. I'm expecting some delays.
Just throwing it out there. You might want to circle around. Holding pattern.
I'm guessing maybe she has somebody she needs to pick up.
Yeah, I mean, that flight could potentially be delayed.
Yeah, and then I'm getting something about Route 2 that there's Jasmine saying traffic stop at Route 2 in Lorain County. That is correct. We have stop and go traffic there, as well as I-90 near the Amherst area. So please be careful out there.
Yeah.
Now, continue to put your comments in there, your questions. We are monitoring it, and we'll help you through the evening as well as through tomorrow morning. Thank you, Hollie. Thank you, Jason. Any last thoughts before we leave?
Just feel free to reach out to each of us separately on social media as well. Obviously, this is here for you throughout the day, but we're happy to answer any questions all day long.
Hey, get outside and enjoy it. It's
Heck
gonna be
yeah.
beautiful snow.
My kids are
Come
excited.
on, let's do it, guys.
The sleds are ready.
Bundle up. I don't want anybody getting a freeze bite or anything like that. Now remember, big traffic alert, I-90 westbound coming out of Cleveland by West 44th. Multiple lanes blocked because of an over